Hey, Kenny, it's Miss Natural.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, yeah. I've tried a couple times. I'm like, what's going on?
Technology. That's
you, get-
yeah,
yeah, you gotta love it.
yeah. One thing I learned: don't get your hopes up. It'll disappoint you.
Pretty much.
Well, I must say, Miss Natural, it's great to have you on, and thank you for being on the show this evening.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I have plenty of things to talk to you about. I believe this past Monday, you was actually in attendance of Wall 1000.
Yes, yes, I was with Stacey O'Brien.
Okay, so me personally, I enjoy it, but what was your take on it? Hello, are you there, Miss Natural?
Ah, yeah, sorry. That cheek syndrome. I hit the mute button on my iPhone.
Okay,
Yeah, no, what I was saying is that, I really liked it. It's, like I said, I hate saying old stuff just because, it's from the Attitude Era, and it was like 15 years ago already. I really like what I brought Lita in, and I love The Rock, so anytime The Rock's out there, I love it.
me personally, I liked it, and it was good to see almost every single member of D Generation X. I think we all know why China wasn't there. It could either be the fact she had a relationship with X-Pac and things didn't work out, or the other thing that she's doing nowadays, and I really won't get into that.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's all speculation there, so.
yeah, yeah. All we can do is speculate, but I enjoyed it. It was a chance to look back. Now we'll see where they go from here. Now that it's a 3 hour show going forward. But
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Actually, honestly, that's like the first time watching WWE in quite a while.
you're not that far from St. Louis. You in Kansas City?
No, actually, I am in Columbia, Missouri right now. I always say for the moment, I move everywhere, so I may be back in Kansas City in a couple years down the road, so.
All right. Talk a little bit about yourself and how did your wrestling career got started?
Oh, man. I watched wrestling ever since I was about like 7 years old. One of my uncles actually, I sat down and started watching it with him and like Saturday mornings, and I loved it. My favorite, honestly, I loved watching Hulk Hogan. Who didn't? Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. Hogan was my, sorry, Hogan was my favorite. He just, his charisma, I always loved his charisma, and I always tell people, I said, even to this day, he'll come out, like, with his music, and I'll still get chills, just like a little kid. Yeah, I fell in love with it, and, I watched, the two that I absolutely love that I kind of like styling, my wrestling style after, like Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, and, those were, I loved watching those guys. And how old was I? It was right after I graduated high school. I was 19, and that was back in 2000, and it was right before I turned, like 2-3 weeks before I turned 20. Just met one of my neighbors who I was an acquaintance with throughout high school and stuff, and like he's just like, hey, got a business opportunity for you. I'm like, I already know what it is. He's like, all right, I'll pick you up on Sunday. That's when my mom, I was planning for years to, like save money up, to go to professional wrestling school. And I told my mom, my cousin owns a roofing company up in Minnesota, Pero Contracting, and I was just like, I'll work for him. If I have to lug up, 80 pounds of roofing shingles up a ladder, I'll do it, and, just to save money up for it. But I ended up running into my friend at a gathering and everything, and I got really, honestly, I always joke, but it's like it was just handed to me. You know, I didn't there wasn't really any girls wrestling up there. Lacey and Rain didn't start till like maybe later in the year, maybe a year later. And it was only Shea Physique up in that area, so I kind of got lucky and I didn't have to pay to start wrestling. You know, usually everybody pays about $3,000 to start their wrestling career, and I got lucky and I didn't have to do that. And, I mean, yeah, I started training May 5th of 2000 and had my first match June 10th of 2000 in Warrens, Wisconsin. So, I mean, it was quick. I mean, from the time that, you know, I started to, and I remember telling my mom, I think it was a Friday night when I saw my neighbor, and I told my mom that Sunday morning because I was like, crap. I know, granted, that even though I was 19, you know, you still dread telling the parents, like, yeah, by the way, I'm not going to go to college. I'm going to go to wrestling school. And I'm going in like 2 hours.
So basically, you've been in the wrestling business for over a decade. I mean, how do you feel about being in wrestling for so long? Did you see yourself still doing wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, this is another thing. I mean, this is the one job I held for 12 years. You know, I mean, it's the one that I love. I mean, I absolutely love it. I know, to think back, like, I used to be the young pup in the locker room, and now I'm, like, the old guy in the locker room, and it doesn't, I mean, I'll go out there, and I don't feel my age when I go out there, and, I mean, I'll still have fun out there and everything. It's great. I love the sport.
You know what they say, people of your age is like a fine wine. You get better with age.
Yeah, and you get smarter, too. I mean, you know, it's just, you learn to actually work smarter. I think the older you go, when you get into it, you're young, you're like, let's do this, and this. You're like, I mean, it can be like high-flying, whatever, and now it's just like, we can take it a little easy, make it, you know, like your story. I think your stories get a little bit better as you get older, too. I mean, every year, your wrestling gets better no matter what. But.
And you know how wrestlers have meanings behind their names, or it may be that companies come up with the names. How did you become Miss Natural? Was it your idea? Was it a wrestling company's idea?
No, I had nothing to do with it. Actually, I started training with Ken Patera. He was an Olympic strongman. Sorry, I'm battling a cold here too. Yeah, he had his own company in Minnesota, and it was funny because, like, I can't say he couldn't remember my name. It was only like 4 weeks before I got into the ring to have my first match. But, like, he had a hard time remembering my name. He would be like, "Hey, you." But, like, he finally said, you know, I was like, whatever, I'm calling you Miss Natural. Because, like, I mean, I played, you know, hockey, I played softball, I mean, I played volleyball, soccer, basketball, like, all these sports, you know, and he's just like, I can't say the F-bomb, he's like, F it. He's like, I'm calling you Miss Natural. Like, you do everything. What's that?
Go ahead and curse. We're not a PG show, by the way.
Oh, okay. No. But yeah, he was pretty much like, fuck it. I'm calling you Miss Natural. He's like, you already fucking do everything. You know, so, I mean, and like the girl I started out against, I mean, she was a fitness model, or a fitness competitor, and, you know, they got the fake boobs. She had, like, bleached blonde hair. She had hair extensions. So, I mean, it was just kind of, it had kind of a double meaning to it, too.
And recently, I believe it was last month for that matter, you made your debut on Magnificent Ladies Wrestling, which is a custom woman wrestling website where fans get to be the promoter. They get to book matches. What was that experience like?
It was fun. I mean, I did customs back in the day. Oh man, I think that was like 02, 03-ish. I did it with like Brandy Alexander, Brandy Wine, she's going to kill me because I kill her name all the time. Helena Heavenly, or Heavenly
You got it
Helena.
right. You got it right.
I love her. What's that?
You got it right. You got it right.
Heavenly Helena?
Helena
I know,
Heavenly.
Helena Heavenly. Yeah, I keep on screwing it up. I keep flip-flopping it. AJ Sparks was there. Oh, man, I think Kara Kilday was there. I don't even know if she's still working. But, yeah, I mean, I did those. I mean, except those are ones where you wrestled in your, you know, your wrestling gear. You know, I mean, the MLW, it's more old school, and that's fine, you know. I mean, I have certain rules to what I do, you know. And, I mean, we get to pre-approve all the scripts and everything. They're, you know, the people putting the matches together. And, I mean, I'll flat out call some guy an asshole if he wants me to do anything dirty. I have a 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old daughter. I was like, you know what, I'm watching out for me and I'm watching out for her. So, I mean, I'll flat out call a guy an asshole for even thinking in their right mind that I'm going to do anything that's perverted. So, but yeah, I mean, I honestly, MLW, I had a great experience. I went in there thinking the worst, and I went out there and I had a blast. I did, and I got to see a lot of like Brandy Wine, I got to see her, and it was fabulous. Josie, or Sojo, most people know her, I know. And I haven't seen her since my wedding day. She was one of my bridesmaids, and I'm divorced now, but, I mean, that was 6 years ago. I mean, it was awesome. And we haven't worked together since, I think it was 2003. It was like the last time her and I worked together. So, I mean, it was a great experience. And, I mean, and it was great, you know, reuniting with her. So, yeah, definitely. And I loved it, actually, because I got to meet more of the newer workers, because I was out for about 3 years, just taking some time off, and, like, I'm a little bit out of the game, and I'm getting back in there.
What are your thoughts about the women wrestlers of today compared to the others that when you first entered the business?
Actually, there's still a lot of the girls. I mean, a lot of the girls that I shouldn't say started out with, but like came along a couple years into it when I first started. I mean, they're still around. I mean, Angel Williams or Angelina Love. I mean, ODB's still out there. Like I said, Josie. I mean, but a lot of the newer ones that I see. I mean, the ones that Josie's trained are like CJ Lane. I think it's Taylor. I think she's on TNA. I just met them like last month, and I mean, they were great. They were great to work with. I mean, so I mean, I think the training's come a lot further, you know, especially with women wrestling. I'll tell you, I'm pretty sexist. I'm a woman, but yet it's hard to watch women's wrestling. And, I mean, if I know somebody's working out there, and I'll be like, heck yes, I want to see this match, you know. But
have you ever had the chance to work for a company such as Shimmer and WSU, and would you consider working for a wrestling organization called Shine Wrestling that just debuted last week?
Oh, Shine. Oh, actually, I know Lexi Fife. No, I know Lexi Fife. Yeah, I would love to work for Shine. I worked for Shimmer. Oh man, that was in '04. Wow, that was already 4 years ago. I worked with Lorelei Lee, and I also got to work with Daisy Hayes, which was a pleasure. Oh, she was really fun to work with. Yeah, I mean, and I hope in the future to go back to Shimmer too. I mean, I had a great experience, and the women were top notch. You know, I mean, those were matches like, hey, you know, it's not just like, oh, there's only going to be like 1 or 2 good women's matches. The whole show is a phenomenal show. You know, and that's pretty much, Shine isn't, you know, in that same category. It's going to be a phenomenal show. They want, you know, they want nothing but the best out there, so. But yeah, I would love to work for Shine also.
Who have been some of the wrestlers that you have a lot of match with that you have been fortunate to be in the ring with?
Oh, like wrestlers that I love being in the ring with?
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, like Stacey O'Brien. She's great. I mean, she's younger and like, I always joke, it's like, I'll try to keep up with the young kids out there and, do their thing. I just got a chance to wrestle Athena a couple weeks back in Arkansas for traditional championship wrestling, and I had a great time working with her, or wrestling with her out there. And then I always love working with Mischief. It's always awesome. I mean, we've had, actually in the past, I think it was back in '07, we had like 3 matches and for Harley Race's World League Wrestling, and it was great. And then we had, I love this, at Metro Pro Wrestling up in Kansas City, we had a 4-way, and I think that was like back in last July or August. But yeah, that was fun to work with her again. Even though it was a 4-way, it wasn't a singles match. But I have a couple of singles matches coming up with her at Metro Pro Wrestling August 11th. We're going to be having the first hardcore women's match there. So Metro Pro. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot. Of course, I mean, we're taking a beating. It's going to be a hurting, but it'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun and painful at the same time.
Oh, I'm going to be regretting it totally the next day. Like, what the heck was I thinking? Actually, after the match.
Yeah.
It's
amazing. For those just tuning in a little bit late than usual, you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. I am joined with the lovely Miss Natural, all the way from the Midwest. As we pointed out a little bit earlier, she made her Magnificent Ladies Wrestling debut about last month. You can check out the matches and purchase them in a download. MagnificentLadiesWrestling.com. Check them out. You mentioned you got the match coming up with Mischief. Why don't you go ahead and promote the other shows you have coming up?
Oh man, August 4th, I'm going to be in Des Moines, Iowa for 3XW. At the keg stand, and I will be actually wrestling against Stacey O'Brien in that one. The company that I work for, I can't tell you enough how phenomenal they are. I mean, they have TV, just professional. Let's see, August 10th, I'll be wrestling against Mischief at Dynamo Pro Wrestling, an NWA affiliate. And then August 11th, Mischief and I will be having a hardcore match at Metro Pro Wrestling, which will be the first women's hardcore match at Metro Pro. Let's see, I got to think here. I'm having a brain fart on the rest of them, but those are my first part of August dates there. So, and then I might be going down to Arkansas for a friend of mine who's starting a promotion of August 25th. I forgot what his company is called because he jokes around with me so much. But and then I believe I'll be facing Stacey O'Brien there also. So, and then I know for sure traditional championship wrestling in, I believe it's September 15th in Memphis. I'll be facing off against Athena once again there, and then back to Steel Domain Wrestling up in Minnesota and St. Paul, which they do internet pay-per-views there. And Echo Cabana's going to be there, Ryan Slade, Matt Murphy, and myself versus Heather Hallberg and her husband. But I'm supposed to have an opponent. I don't want it to be a handicap match, facing off against those two, but I'm supposed to have a trade partner, and right now it's a mystery. So, but those are just a couple of the dates coming up, and I have some more filling in. So sometimes I love the road, love traveling.
You can definitely follow Miss Natural on Twitter at Miss MISS Natural 2000. That's 2 and 3 zeros, by the way. Follow her on Twitter. She'll keep you posted on upcoming shows and appearances. And one of these days, gotta have Miss Natural here in the Kentucky area. Considering that you're gonna be in a couple of shows in Tennessee, but I'm just putting it out there.
Yes.
So let's make that happen. Get Miss Natural out here in Kentucky.
Yeah, talk to your promoters there.
I'll see what I can do. I don't. I'll see what I can do. What do you consider as the highlight of your wrestling career thus far?
I mean, there's quite a bit. I mean, I've got to work with some great girls. Excuse me, I mean, I remember in 2003 wrestling cheerleader Melissa, probably, I don't know how long we went, like 15, 18 minutes in front of the Cauliflower Alley Club. I mean, so many veterans of professional wrestling, like after our match, I mean, they were like cheering us after our match was done. And then like going to the back of the locker room and for the guys to actually be standing and applauding that match was pretty awesome. I mean, you know, to get over with the guys in the locker room is, I think, an amazing feat. I mean, winning Harley Race's World League Wrestling Ladies Championship for the 5th time on my daughter's first birthday was amazing. You know, I mean, being a 5-time champion of Harley Race, I mean, the longest reigning champion as of right now, and it's amazing. I mean, just so many companies. And working for Shimmer, I mean, there's just, I mean, I've gotten to work with such great wrestlers. There's a lot of highlights, you know, in what I've done so far, and I mean, there's so much more that I want to do. You know, I want to work with the best, and I have a thing where it's just in me. I want to be the best at what I do, and I want to, you know, do the best I can do, you know, and push it a little bit further.
Now, is there any wrestlers out there that you haven't had the chance to work with but would like to work with someday?
Oh, man, there's tons. Actually, before I even got into Shimmer, I mean, I found out, like, Beth Phoenix worked there at Jillian Hall. I mean, I would love to work with Beth Phoenix. Molly Holly, I've met Molly Holly at one of the shows. She was just I don't know what she did there. I don't know if she was a referee for the match, but we did a tag match and everything. I would have loved to wrestle her, but I don't think she's working anymore. I mean, there's so many great females out there that, I mean, Natalia, who the heck else? Like Angelina Love, she was great to work with. Little Jeannie, I worked with her, and it was amazing. There's so many women out there, I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, I mean, kind of like I'm starting fresh all over in a way. You know, I just started wrestling last year again after a 3-year hiatus, and in May, I just really started picking up my schedule, you know, getting back out there and getting back on the circuit so I can work with all different sorts of women, you know, wrestlers. So.
And what would your advice be to anyone out there that wants to become a professional wrestler? What would your advice be?
Oh, man. Well, there's a lot of advice. I mean, from the time showing up to your tryout, don't be a goof wearing jeans and work boots or anything. Have workout gear on. Be in shape. It's not just anybody's game who can get in there. You have to, honestly, the best people that I've seen come out of wrestling are athletes. I've never seen a non-athlete succeed. I mean, from what I've seen, I don't know if anybody is on TV a non-athlete before they got into wrestling, but usually everybody has an athletic background of some kind. I mean, work out. If you're serious about it, work out. You know, just, it's a business filled with respect, so respect the ones that have been in the business for, you know, longer than you. You know, there's a lot to go on that. I mean, just, if you follow your dream, go for it full blast. You know, don't look back. Just do what you got to do. My whole thing is screw reality, live your dream.
That's quite a mantra there. Just go out there and live your dreams. Screw reality.
Yeah. I'm not literally, but I joke about that, and I mean, if people didn't, I don't know, I don't like people who knock down other people's dreams, when they're like, oh, you can't do that because so-and-so, you know what, just do it. What makes you happy? If it makes you happy, do it, I mean, to a certain extent, but I mean, it's just, don't ever let anything hold you back. I mean, if you hold you back, you're going to be full of what if I did that when you're like 50, 60 years old, What if I did that? I could have had a chance, And it's just don't let anybody hold you back on thinking that, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. You can't do that, you can't do your dream. I don't know. I just think it's just don't let anybody hold you back. I mean, reality, of course, is important, but, I mean, if you, like I said, 50, 60 years down the road, you're like, man, I wish I would have done that. And it's, yeah. I'm just not one of those people. I'm a just do it person. Like, literally, like, I don't even take 2 seconds to think about it. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do that. Why not?
Absolutely. So does Miss Natural likes to be the baby face, or does Miss Natural likes to be the heel?
Definitely the heel. I just, I feel a lot more comfortable in that position. The baby face, actually, I was a heel for, till about the better part of '07, and then, what the heck, I got to think here for a second. Yeah, '07, and then I just, then we had 2 other girls. Another girl was a heel, and another girl was a face. And I was kind of like, people were just like, I remember her. Some were cheering me because I was coming back. So I was kind of a tweener for a while. And then I took my 3-year hiatus, and pretty much when I came back, I mean, it became a face. People, are like, hey, she's back. But at Metro Pro Wrestling, I'm definitely a heel. Which I love. I love being a heel. I can just be a complete ass, and it just, I mean, it's in all fun. I can be a complete ass. I'm totally not an ass. I appreciate every fan that is out there that comes to these shows, but, I mean, it's so much fun because, I mean, you get underneath these people's skin, and it's amazing the reaction you can get from them sometimes.
Now, you considering you like to be the heel and all, has there ever been moments when a fan says something or do something that's a little too far?
No, not at all. I honestly, you can't really say too much to me that would get me pissed off. I mean, I had I had this guy in Arkansas. It was Benton, Arkansas, down by Little Rock, July 4th. And he went out there, and he looked at me, and I could just, he was easy to get riled up and everything, and he's like, you're chubby. I stopped and looked at him and said, at least I'm not in denial. I have no issue. It's like, I'm not easy to really, you can't really piss me off. I'm pretty laid back on everything.
Those are the type of people I like, laid back. Just live it up. You go out there and perform, and people are gonna talk, but at the end of the day, you're doing your job. You're out there performing, and the fans are satisfied. That's just, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And again, yeah. I'm joined with wrestling veteran. I might as well call you a wrestling legend, Miss Natural.
Oh, that's too much.
I mean, you've been around for over a decade. You've been accomplished. You won championships. You faced some of the best female wrestlers in the world. I mean, you can't get any bigger than that.
Yeah.
And I guess my last question for you is, considering you was at War 1000, what is your take on what's going on in the WWE and of course TNA and Ring of Honor and some other shows that's out there on television?
And to be honest with you, I don't really watch wrestling on TV. It's not, I mean, not by choice. I usually, like, I never stay home. I'm just always out. Like, either I'm out traveling or I'm just out with, like, I'm out with the wrestlers at training. Like, I went to the Royal Rumble, and I went to, Raw 1000. Honestly, that's probably the most wrestling I've watched all year. And I mean, it stinks because I know ROH is a great product. I mean, like Tommaso, I mean, he's somebody I've known for a while. Great guy. I know he works there. I would love to watch those shows. I never make time for it. And I know, like I said, I know it's a great promotion. Raw, if I do watch it, I'm usually with the wrestlers, and I usually talk. But, you know, I mean, I love seeing certain people on Raw. You know, I am a John Cena fan. But, you know, I just, yeah, like I said, I know it kind of sucks. But, yeah, I'm usually never home to sit down and watch TV. I mean, I'm usually home to just sleep and take a shower, and then I'm off for the day.
You know, Miss Natural, that's okay. I'm a Cena fan too. I just like his passion and just how he handle himself. And sure, he may not be the type of wrestler. He may not wow you with his wrestling ability, but he goes out there and perform, and he doesn't
I think he's like the Hulk Hogan of this era. You know, I mean, I loved Hogan. He put on a great show, and Cena puts on a great show.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, Miss Natural, I ask all guests to do this. It's like a station ID. It's like a voice drop. All you have to do is say your name, and after you say your name, you say you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
All right.
And
hold on a second. All right. This is Miss Natural, and you are listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio.
Thank you so much for your time, Miss Natural. And I know you battling the cold, and you pinned it 1, 2, 3. And thank you so much for your time. It's an honor to interview you. And do you have any final words and shout-outs?
Oh man, I just kind of give a shout out to all the fans. Thank you throughout the years. Obviously, I got to give a shout out to Ken Patera and Harley Race for training me. You know, I give credit to Trevor Murdoch, Matt Murphy, Superstar Steven Bullschmidt. They were at Harley Race's training camp, and just a lot. I mean, all the girls that I've worked with. I mean, amazing. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to look good and do what I do.
And again, thank you for your time. And you go out there and you get some sleep, feel better, and most definitely would love to interview you again.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
And you have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Miss Natural, my final guest of the evening.